Neck. Use 8 V SoftLine barb blunt cannula L or sharp 21G 60mm or 90mm, depending on the patient. Now we are ready to proceed to the neck. I draw a line in parallel with the jawline, right here, one just below the jawline, and one in the triangle fold here, which runs roughly here, and then the upper neck. How far down you wish to go is depending on how much excess skin there is on the lower neck. I've already put local anesthetics here. You can see the adrenaline effect here. I use a 19G 40mm hollow cannula to make the enter hole. Ensure that the same enter point can access all the 4 locations, not too far towards the edge of the jaw, but just below and behind the ear. Enter the cannula only this deep, no deeper. Here I will use 21G. You may choose either blunt cannula or sharp needle, though I recommend nothing coarser than 21G. In parallel with the jawline, use your fingers as a support, putting firm pressure on the cannula. It is important not to go too deep. That may result in a weaker lifting effect. All the way along, make sure that it follows the jawline. Support with your fingers. Stretch the tissue strongly, and then withdraw the cannula and release. Now you can see the immediate lifting effect, nicely placed right here. Barbed blunt cannula L 21G 90mm. Let's continue with the lower jawline. Here you can see the point of the needle. There. And pulling the threads all at once together, we get the lifting effect. And so the contour of the jaw, the jawline, appears more defined. Now you can see the lifting effect of all the 3 sutures together. 3 threads. 3 threads define the beautiful contours of jawline and neck. Let's show where we have the end points of the 3 threads. I'm pointing at the ends of the threads, 1, 2, 3, together at the mandible angle. And the last thread here. I place this in parallel with the front part of Stella plegimus odivus here, the muscle here. Lifting here. Oh, what a lift. Yes, wow. Now we're done with the barbed threads here. Now you can clearly see the difference before and after. You want to make this triangle visible. Now we do the finishing, cutting the sutures close to the skin, pushing down the end a little. Be careful not to cut the skin. Pull the skin over the entry hole here. There. To avoid getting a dimple like this one, you see it there quite clearly. Voila, you see the effect immediately. So now we make another entry hole in the skin here. Entry point in the skin. There you go. Same thing here. Measure from the point of entry to the given destination point. Find the entry hole. Use your free hand to tighten the skin strongly when entering, then tilting the cannula to a less steep angle to see that the needle is properly positioned. I use my fingers to feel the needle. It mustn't be placed too cranial nor too caudal, that is, neither too far downwards nor upwards. And there, I see that it is placed exactly where I want it to be. Now we pull the needle upwards, supporting with your other hand by putting pressure with your fingers, and pull it out simultaneously. Don't release until the needle is completely out. There, you see where the thread runs. Pull slightly. It's fascinating to see the lifting effect. Proceeding with the second one. It's located just below the mandible edge. Pull out the needle here. To avoid that the sutures get tangled in each other, like a fishing net. It's like when you go fishing with several rods. Those of you who knows what it's like when fishing. You watch carefully how the lines run. Again, press the needle tip to enter it nicely. Good. Keep the pressure here. Stretch the tissue. Pull back the needle strongly. And then we pull it out. Grab the thread and then specifically pull the last one. Ensure it's properly positioned by checking the lifting effect while pulling the thread. Check especially that it's not too superficial. If there are ridges in the skin, you must pull the skin back and forth in different directions so that the barbs, these cogs, are released. Then you pull simultaneously. And look, I have successfully positioned the threads exactly where I want them. Now I'm going down to this point. We are still using barb blunt cannula L21G90, 4 cannulas. .21G sharp works just as well. It's often easier to work with, and sometimes it hurts less. But a blunt cannula is safer, since you avoid the risk of hitting a large blood vessel. Now we have all the 3 threads here, and the last one. This is the last barb thread for today. And the most fun. It is placed in parallel with the sternocleidomastoideus mastoideus muscle, this one, along the front edge there. Consequently, we achieve a line. Not too deep here. Good. And then you pull it out. And here we have the lifting effect of the last suture, and the effect from pulling all 3 simultaneously. And smooth out the skin to cover the entry hole. Look from the front. You see the shape of the cheek? It's just wow. Indeed, now the jawline is almost perfect.